All right, guys. We are just a few minutes past 6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started with our first instructor update for certified volunteer firefighter. With us, I have Executive Director Matt Russell, who would like to say a few words.
Hey guys, man, we're glad to be doing this instructor update today. The impetus behind this, and I know, as Jason said, this is the first one of these that we've done at least in a long time, or maybe ever. But the reason we're doing the instructor update is because during the course of our bridge program, we identified some issues that had emanated from the volunteer ranks. Again, I think part of that was not any individual or department's fault. It's a matter of us providing the level of expectation for you and knowing what to do, when to do, and how to do, and knowing that resources are available. And so we want to make you guys aware of that tonight. So we did identify some issues. We're in the process of rectifying those. So one such issue was somebody said that they didn't have the resources they needed to conduct the JPRs. One of the things that we've done, we've applied for an assistant to firefighter grant this year for 4 props. They're called tailored props, and it will allow you to do a large number of your JPR skills with Certified Volunteer Firefighter Program. We've applied for that grant. We've applied for 2 trucks to pull those 4 props with, and we'll send those throughout the state so that you guys have the resources that you need to do what we're asking you to do. The other thing we want to do is provide consistency and continuity of training. I think this is where the instructor update comes in. You guys need to know that you have resources available. There's 50 people that are employed full-time at the fire college. We work for you. And if you have a question, please don't get upset, aggravated, make assumptions. Call us or your regional coordinator. And our goal is to make sure that you have what you need to do your job. And so, we don't want to, if we can curtail these things on the front side, it's going to make everybody's life better on the back side. So that's part of our issue. We want to lay out the expectations for the Certified Volunteer 160 program, which then leads into the Firefighter Bridge program. We know that there's some people out there that want to become career firefighters, and obviously we want as many people that want to go in the career service to do that. But there's also people that don't want to. We honor that as well. We're going to talk about the scheduling of the recruit class sequencing, some of the failure criteria, the performance of the JPRs and the level of expectation there, the documentation and submission of prerequisites, all those sorts of things we have answers to. So if you guys have questions, please let us know. Our goal is to make sure that when you go through any program at the fire college, you have a great experience. And if we can help solve those things, that's what we get paid. That's what you guys pay us to do. So with that, I'm very glad that you guys are here. We have 286 participants on the call right now. That is fantastic. We're super excited. Again, if you have questions, please give us a call. So thank you for being on.
All right. My name is Jason Jackson, and I am the program director over Firefighter 1 and 2 and Volunteer 160 and all this. I do want to reiterate, right now we're looking at 290 people, participants. If you have a question, due to the sheer number of people that we have, please put your question into the chat box. When this is complete, we will tally up and go through and sort out the questions. And we are planning on doing another Zoom meeting that we will record here and put on the website, answering all of the questions that y'all have asked in the chat. We do understand that under the, we're pushing almost 300 people now. If we open it up to questions, we could be here till 8 o'clock in the morning trying to answer questions. So please don't hesitate to put your questions into the chat box, and we will sort through them and identify them all and try to come up with the best answers that we have for all. With that being said, we will move on with the instructor update. You should have the screen should be showing our PowerPoint. This update is to provide all instructors with a role in the Certified Volunteer Firefighter Program with the latest information so that they can provide consistency and uniformity across the state. This will cover all the career technical centers, the high school programs, all hybrid deliveries and traditional deliveries. These are the three main types of deliveries that we have in the certified volunteer firefighter. And this update covers all facets. In order to lead to certification, the certified volunteer firefighter program has to follow our state law, which is 36-32-7, our administrative code, which is 360-X-2-.01, our policies and procedures that you will find on our website, and also the Certified Volunteer Firefighter Handbook. There's a QR code there linking you to the handbook. The handbook is also online, and in putting the handbook together, we tried to answer as many questions as we could come up with about the delivery methods, the process of using AFC online, the process of applying for the class, everything. So if you have questions, hopefully the handbook will answer the majority of those questions. But as Director Russell said, please don't hesitate to call us and let us know if you have any trouble. The program entrance requirements. These are due by the start of class. A completed physical statement. This form is also found on the website. You must be 18 years of age unless you're a part of the high school program. NIMS 100, 200, 700, and 800 are also entrance requirements. These are co-requisites and meets the hazmat A&O prerequisite requirement. NIMS 100, 200, 700, 800 is by part of Presidential Directive number 5 that all public service employees are required to have 100, 200, 700, 800. We have found in recruit schools, bridge, everything else, this can be completed. The 100, 200, 700, 800 can be completed as part of the Chapter 2 lesson. Once again, with the NIMS, you will have to independently go to the NIMS website, get your student ID, and take those courses. There are submission boxes in your AFC online program. So when you complete these and they give you the certificates, you can upload those certificates into the program, the online class. We also have the peer support awareness requirement. This is fairly new, but it is a big push. We're requiring everyone to go through this. This will suffice, going through it once will suffice any other classes that you take later on. The peer support awareness requirement is on the OLC website. When you have your class set up for Module 1, it will be on the OLC website, and the link will be in Module 1. You click on the link. It's a short video that you'll watch, answer a few questions at the end, and please finish and submit so it will track that you have completed it and give you credit for it. Once again, one of the other entrance requirements is no self-sponsored students for any field delivery programs. You must have departmental affiliation to start the Module 1s. Schedules and applications. Course schedules and applications should be submitted to your regional coordinator. Your regional coordinator is going to be your first line of contact. They have a plethora of knowledge, and they can answer pretty much all of your questions. Your course schedules will come through them. They will forward them on to us, and then we will get them approved and get them scheduled. The regional coordinators, when you're turning in your schedules, make sure that you list all of your skill nights and everything else, because that's what we will be going by to come by and stop in, help, do whatever we can to help you out. So a good course schedule, including all of your meeting times, especially zeroing in on your skills nights. The instructional cadre. Who can teach certified volunteer firefighter? The lead instructor must have 3 years as a certified volunteer firefighter or firefighter one, and she must also possess Fire and Emergency Services Instructor 1 to serve as the lead instructor. This will be listed once again on your application. You will also have, and I'll go ahead and enter this right now. On your course application, you will have a course coordinator and a lead instructor. You can put the course coordinator is going to be our main point of contact here at the Fire College and through the regional guys. The lead instructor must possess those certifications and the 3 years experience. The course coordinator, and the reason this is important for us to capture this on the front end, the regional guys will validate and check the credentials of the instructors to make sure that we have the qualified people teaching the class. But also, when it comes to the OLC portion of it and the AFC online, the course coordinator and the lead instructor will have editing privileges to be able to hide and unhide the end of subject tests. Then we move to the assistant skill instructors. The assistant instructors must possess certified volunteer firefighter and be capable of helping with the logistical portions of it and also the teaching portions.
Hey, Jason, one thing. Hey, guys, so there was a law that was passed in this legislative session. We don't even have it in place yet. But one of the things that we're going to have for every firefighter in Alabama is a need for sensory needs training. That is going to be delivered through Culture City. We haven't even established the program yet. The law, I think, takes effect in October, but that will be coming. So that will be required for every firefighter in the state of Alabama. So just know, be looking for that, and there'll be more information to come.
Yes, sir. Mandatory orientation sessions. We would like for you to schedule at least 30 days prior to the start of Module 1 an orientation. This orientation is no more than a meet and greet with the prospective students. You want to check on the status of their physical statements and any other prerequisites that they may be lacking before the start of the class. This 30-day orientation will gauge us of where we're at and what all we need to have done before the first day of class. Also checking on the status of all equipment requirements and any needs, and finalizing the enrollment and the registration paperwork. This 30-day orientation really works well on the career side, so we're implementing it now onto the volunteer side, and hopefully we will get the same results that we did with that, as by the first day of class, all students are complete, 100% complete on all of their paperwork prior to the start of class. AFC Online. The use of AFC Online is required for this program, both the instructor and student access. Going back to what I said earlier in the course application, the course coordinator and the lead instructor will have the editing privileges for your classes on olc.alabamafirecollege.org. This is our learning platform that we use. It has the videos, it has the teaching outline, it has the chapters, it has skill videos, it has everything that you will need. You can access it from any smartphone, computer, anything. It provides the most current curriculum and certification materials needed. This includes skills packets. This includes progress reports, everything. Provides access to the end of subject exams that are required by the administrative code for certification. As far as the administrative code goes, all end of subject exams you must pass with a minimum of 70. The end of subject exams must be proctored. The proctoring of the end of subject exams can be done by the instructor, but it must be done face-to-face and not at home. And then we're able to submit any documents in AFC online by uploading. This will go back to your NIMS 100, 200, 700, 800, and cover also your mandatory mandatory JPRs that are required for each module. Tracy, do you have anything you want to add to AFC Online?
The only thing that I would add with AFC Online is if you have a class scheduled and you want access to it ahead of time so you can prepare, feel free to reach out to your regional coordinator and they can let us know and we can set them up. Also, sometimes departments, when they have their orientation, they want students to have access. Again, we can get that set up so you can test logins before classes start. Just give us a heads up that y'all want that set up and we will be happy to take care of that for you.
All right. Skills training. Our skills training is crucial to success. This is one of the I don't want to say issues, but this is one of the things that we have been brought to our attention, and we are becoming aware of that some of the skills are not being able to be completed. The instructor, it is imperative that the instructor demonstrate the skills and allow the student to practice the skill, master the skill before they're tested on the skill. They're tested on the skill at the end under certification with the random draws. But, and I'll hit on this a little bit more in a minute, but as the instructor, when you sign the progress report, you are attesting that each student has had time to practice, master, and test each skill. Each skill needs to be taught during the course before the certification testing occurs. Complete policies regarding the skills testing are found in the handbook and also the certification manual that you can both find online. We also wanted to go over the span of control, the student to instructor ratios for skills training and testing. Please make sure that you have enough assistant instructors to help you in this skills portion of the class. You know, the highest ratio should be 7-to-1. Optimal is 5-to-1. And when you get over on into module 3s and you get into the ideal H atmospheres and environments, then your span of control needs to be even less than that. So just make sure that before the start of the modules, especially on your skill nights that you've turned in your calendars on, you have enough assistant instructors to adequately help and teach each student each skill. The mandatory skills are part of the certification test, but they are completed during the course following AFC certification manual policies. Pro Board and FSAC, our two accrediting agencies, require us to do different things. So we have to make sure that we maintain consistency across both. Pro Board requests that we test a minimum of 25% of the total skills. We actually test 30%. With that 30% testing, there's absolutely no way that we can test all of those skills at the end of the module. So as the modules progress, you will see on your skill packet and also on the progress reports, the mandatory skills that are completed during those modules. The mandatory skills can be completed as they're being taught. You don't have to wait to the end of the module to do those skills. But as the instructor, it is your responsibility to make sure that those mandatory skills are completed, paperwork is signed, and you submit them into the submission forms or submission boxes that we have in each module. The random draw of skills comes at the end of the module when the AFC representative shows up for certification testing. He will do the certification test for the module, and he will also do a random draw of one skill out of that block of skills. Those random skills drawn will not be part of the mandatory skills that we have completed. So they will be completely different. There's a total of 14 mandatory skills through module 1, 2, and 3 that you will complete. Any of the random skills drawn will not be part of those 14. Kim, do you have anything you'd like to add on that?
Other than the random draws happen after module 3.
Okay.
The mandatories are required after each module, but the random draw is at the end of module 3.
Okay. Certification progress reports and instructional JPR verification sheets. This is the progress report that I was talking about. By signing it, the lead instructor is attesting that each subject is taught and assessed during the course before end of subject exams are completed. All end of subject exams are completed with a minimum of 70%. There's only 2 attempts allowed. There's a test and then a retest. If there is a computer issue, computer glitch, then we will allow a third attempt, but only if there was some type of computer failure. Each skill must be taught and assessed during the course before the certification testing occurs. So when the lead instructor signs the progress report, he is attesting to all of these things. The instructor must take attendance and submit the final enrollment roster with accurate hours, complete and returned after each module. The regional staff will collect the documents prior to the written test. There's 56 total skills, 14 are mandatory. So out of those, any of the other 42 are subject to being a random draw. Our regional staff. You should be well acquainted and well familiar with your regional coordinator for your area, their proctors and their monitors. The regional guys do an outstanding job. They are your advocate and your source of information. Reach out to them. You've probably got them on speed dial, and they can answer the majority of your questions on the spot. The regional staff will audit the programs using your schedule submitted with the course applications. They will also check and verify the instructors to make sure they have the correct credentials to be teaching. And they will audit the program, those and their monitors. They will look at your schedule, especially the skill nights, and have proctors and monitors, or it could be them, it could be someone from the fire college. We drop in and see if we can help you with some skills. Regional coordinators must confirm that the instructors meet the qualifications to serve as the instructor. They will be your first line of information flow to and from the fire college. With the hybrid program, any AFC online issues that you have with the hybrid program should be handled by reaching out to Dr. David Boyd at least 24 hours prior to testing. Dr. David Boyd is our distance learning coordinator, and his information is there on the screen, and he will handle. Okay. You'll have to find him in another meeting. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions for Dr. Boyd, once again, include them on the chat and we will get you answers and get a response back to you. And lastly, the AFC dashboard. Students complete the policy forms and access the personal information, certification test results, certificates, transcripts, all of that's going to be on the AFC dashboard. The departments manage the departmental and the class information. I'm going to turn the rest of the information about the AFC dashboard over to Tracy, since she has intimate knowledge of it.
Just a few notes on the dashboard. Of course, all students can log in to complete their profiles, their policy statements, see what classes are registered for. Departments can request access through their regional coordinator for access to the dashboard, which would allow them to see their departmental roster as well as classes they've taught, their members' certifications. But on top of that, even if you don't have access to your department dashboard or it's not been set up, if you are listed as an instructor on a class, you can log in to the website, into the dashboard. And if you click your name, you can see instructor classes and you can see who's registered for the classes you are teaching. So you'll have access if you want to know if somebody's already registered for a class, if they've completed the registration, and if your roster is complete. So that's on there as well. If you have any questions about the dashboard, feel free to reach out to your regional coordinator or to me at the Fire College.
Danny Southern asked if we could email the presentation to the regional coordinators, and we will. We'll kind of flood our social media with this thing. That way you have access to it. We are recording the meeting. Somebody asked me this weekend, what do they do if they're not here today? So we're recording this, so we'll put it on our website and all kinds of other places, all of our social media. But the QR codes are very helpful because it's going to take you to some more detailed information. Obviously, we can't cover every aspect of recruit school during this, but again, your regional coordinator is your first point of contact. They do an outstanding job. There's some great guys out there. We all work for you here, so just reach out to them, and they'll if they can't answer the question, they'll pass it up the chain, and we'll try to get you an answer. So, but we are going to email that to our regional coordinators as well.
To reiterate what Chief said, this whole thing is being videoed, and once we are finished with it, it will be on the website available for anyone who did not get to attend the meeting. And the QR codes will allow them to register and get on the roster for attending this class, sign the roster. So if you'll scan that with your phone, this will take you straight to the registration and signing the roster to give you credit for taking this class, this Zoom meeting. Once again, we're trying to get everybody on the same page to make sure that we're consistent across the state with the presentation and what we're doing. We have started doing this on the career side, especially dealing with recruit schools, to try to get everybody on board and on the same playing field. And we are now shifting our focus to the volunteer side because there is a lot of module 1s, 2s, and 3s going on. So if we can get everyone on the same page on the volunteer aspect and on the career side, then the fire service in the state of Alabama is just going to get better.
Okay, first question that came from the chat was they wanted to know 2 Proctor JPRs. Do they need Instructor 1 or certification, volunteer firefighter certification, or both?
Now, are we talking certification testing at the end Proctor monitor? Because if we're talking about that, then there is a specific course, Proctor monitor course, that you will have to go through to be able to proctor or monitor certification tests and certification skills exams. If it is the mandatory skills, the instructors can do those and the assistant instructors can do those, provided that they meet the criteria for lead instructor and assistant instructor.
And this is Kim, just to clarify, just the level that of the certification. You don't have to have Instructor 1 to serve as an evaluator, just the level for which you're testing.
Okay, second question. Someone, Jonathan Hensley asked about mandatory orientations for a class already scheduled. I would say reach out to your regional coordinator on that to get that set up.
Yes.
for something that's already scheduled.
Now, let me say this, let me go back to the mandatory orientation. The mandatory orientation is 30 days prior to the start of module 1. You don't necessarily have to have an orientation 30 days out prior to each module, just module 1. This gets everybody completed on the front end.
The goal is, and so when we say mandatory orientation, we want everybody to be on the same page. If the instructor, the regional coordinator, proctor monitor, whoever the case, can be there and answer questions for the students, that's what we want. Obviously, there's times even on at the fire college or field delivery recruit schools, a career side, not everybody can be there 30 days in advance. So the point is, we want, whenever you can do an orientation, ideally to be 30 days in advance. You guys have jobs, life goes on outside of the Alabama Fire College and volunteer certification. So the point is, so long as everybody's on the same page, what we don't want to do is not have an orientation and then the day of class or not everybody not have their turnout gear, not be shaven so you can wear your SCBAs, those kind of things. So just to get everybody on the same page, I mean, again, we say 30 days. We understand that life goes on. The point is, have an orientation at some point. The majority of the group should be 30 days in advance, and then you may have to do 1 or 2 in other times. There's occasions even where somebody doesn't sign up for a class 30 days in advance. So what do you do then? You do the orientation when you can, when that person makes themselves, or when we require them to be there, when you require them to be there. So again, flexibility, adaptability, to try to fulfill the intent of what we're asking you to do. So within reason.
And then the last question was, someone wanted to know, because they have to have the certification to teach the class, career firefighter also serves as as proper requirement to teach the course along.
Yes.
Firefighter 1 is Firefighter 1.
Yes, firefighter 1 is firefighter 1 across the board. So if you have firefighter 1, as long as you have to be the lead instructor, you still must have 3 years service and instructor 1 to be an assistant. You just have to be certified to that level.
One of the problems, the reason we required 3 years of tenure, several years ago, we had somebody who finished, and I can't remember if it was a 160 program or a certified career, but the next week they were teaching a bunch of recruits, and they don't really have a frame of reference if they just went through the program themselves. They have the academic knowledge, but maybe they don't have the experience to understand why we do what we do. So that's the reason that the commission approved the rule of 3 years tenure, because again, there has to be some foundational knowledge and experience in teaching these courses. So we don't want somebody that's just graduated from recruit school or volunteer 160 to be teaching somebody the next week. You can serve as a mentor, and that's where the assistant instructor, obviously they can be an assistant instructor so long as they work under the purview of the lead instructor. But you also have to have that person that's got 3 years of tenure as lead instructor.
Kim, anything you'd like to say, add?
I don't think so, other than thank you. I can't believe the numbers we've got. That's awesome.
That's great.
Reach out to your regional coordinator, reach out to us if you need have any questions.
Tracy?
Just to reiterate what Kim said, if y'all need anything from us, please don't hesitate to email.
Section Chief David Thornburg?
Nothing to add.
Yep. So the last thing I have is I would highly encourage you guys to take advantage of the dashboard. What a great tool. We received an AFG grant a few years ago for $441,000. And what that does, it allows you to have access to your personnel in your department. You can track all their training. You can track the courses, anything they take to the Alabama Fire College. So if you guys want to set that up through your regional coordinator, you can do your Con Ed, Firefighter 1 and 2 Con Ed, so that when you are graded by ISO, if you print those documents or refer to those documents that's in your department dashboard, it's a ready-made database for you. And so we think that's a great tool. It's a great way for volunteers to utilize that. We know that it costs a lot of money to have records management systems, but this is a free tool for you. So if you want to use that to do your firefighter Con Ed and track that, or any course that you want to add that's relatively close to what we have in our academic inventory, utilize that for your training. It will document it and log it. And then again, when you get graded by ISO, you can retrieve that easily through the dashboard.
Lastly, I would like to end by letting you know that this will not be the last instructor update we do for certified volunteer firefighter. NFPA 1010 has came out, and it is a conglomeration of firefighter 1, firefighter 2, aerial, pumper, marine firefighter, airport firefighter. They all got lumped into NFPA 1010. With NFPA 1010, there will be some changes forthcoming from all this. So we will have probably a grace period to be able to fine tune what we need to fix and fine tune on our part, and move forward with that. So once that happens and the changes are agreed upon and made, we will be having another instructor update for both the career side and the volunteer side to get everybody up to speed and once again, hopefully on the same page. Thank you all for attending. This has been a tremendous turnout. We appreciate that. And that is just a testament to everybody wanting to have the correct information and be on the same page. So we will conclude this and thank you for attending.